SK's lineup. Let's finish off on Astralis Yanko as well. Playing with the camera, we love that as well. I mean, they are the reigning champions. They've had a reasonable season by their standards. It has to be set up to this point over the last 6 months, but it hasn't been the outstanding kind of era-defining season that we would have liked to see them go on, that we've seen other teams do in the past. Fnatic spring to mind, NIP spring to mind. Even Virtus Pride had a good run after they won the major. So it hasn't been the same kind of dominant force that we were expecting.
Yeah, unfortunately for Astralis, I mean, they're a team that had top 4 placing at every single tournament, but they would have definitely liked a couple of more titles in the previous months. They have this rule where they only play one LAN tournament a month, so we didn't see them at every single tournament, didn't qualify for Pro League finals, for example, either. But yeah, you feel that in Kiev, that grand final against FaZe, the FaZe beating them there, that kind of denied them that era, basically, and then the rivalry that they had, and getting beaten again by FaZe in Sydney, then at ECS finals by SK. So I think for Astralis, it's a matter of, okay, this is all worth it if we can pay them back at the major.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, because that's the thing, is if they win a second major in the end, that's what SK did last year, obviously as Luminosity and SK. 2 majors in a year suddenly makes it your year, doesn't it?
I think it does. I mean, nowadays we have so many big tournaments in terms of prize money as well, and you know, with all the top teams attending. So still, the major is a major, and by winning that, you kind of clinch the year as yours.
Yeah. You agree with that?
Yeah, we look at the majors as the most prestigious, right? And that's definitely what you want to do, is win as many of them as possible.
Yep.
So,
do you think they're also very happy that FaZe are out as well, having been their bogey team over the last few months?
Yeah, I was having some discussions with players. Like, this is when G2 was still in the tournament. I was like, yeah, FaZe is out now. Like, they're like, yeah, that sucks because Kyo, the Frenchman, all the friendships and all this. But you know, if we had to play them, you know, we'd better not to.
Yeah.
So they were happy. They're happy that they're definitely happy when your opponents get knocked out, right?
Yeah.
That has to be something you look at.
Because there is always 1 or 2 teams that you find it difficult to beat, and you can't really figure out why, isn't there?
Yeah, coming into this, I thought we were going to have a whole like scissor paper rock type thing between like 4, maybe even 5 teams at some point, where like one team could beat the other. It was just going to be very matchup specific on the stylistic approaches of different opponents. And I think like an interesting thing now coming into this matchup is like SK has been the one to beat Astralis quite regularly, right? The big question is, what have Astralis prepared in their time off? What have they changed? What is their map pool going to look like? What are they going to pull out of the bag and surprise SK with? Do they even have anything to surprise SK?
They've only won 1 map against SK since E-League's major in January.
Yeah,
that was on Overpass.
Yeah, that's a pretty dominating score for SK here, and I think the veto. I don't think that's going to happen against SK. I think the vetoes are going to be clear-cut. But then when it comes to picks, that's where it gets interesting, you know, because Astralis for a very long time, probably still the world's best overpass team, despite their shaky performance against Immortals earlier. But SK has been improving ever since they got to Europe on the map. It has been really low on their depth pool, but seems to have risen. Recently for SK, it's like Cash is the obvious pick when you think about it, but Astralis hasn't played Cash in the last 3 months once on LAN, so you have no idea what Astralis is going to look like on Cash. Are you willing to go into that unknown, or do you want something where you can prepare a bit better for them?
Yeah, that's going to be the question, isn't it? Do they go with what they like and don't worry?
Pretty standard. But for whatever reason, I have this feeling like Astralis are going to pick something weird, or they're going to let something through the veto and hope that the SK want to pick it to make it like a bit more of a risky kind of exchange, because they've done it against FaZe before, right? Well, or FaZe did it against them when they played Cobblestone. When was this? Was it
Sydney?
Yeah, in Sydney. There was that like kind of gambit play there. I feel like that could happen again in this matchup, but then you have to look at the flip side of the coin, which is every time these teams play, it's ridiculous